Saturday saw the second ever meeting in Championship football of Derry and Meath. 29 years after the Royal County reigned victorious in the All-Ireland semi-final, they visited Owenbeg in this year's crucial Round 2 qualifier. And it was the visitors who impressed early on with the point from Pádraig Carnan after 2 minutes. With a strong breeze at their backs, Meath took full advantage, a brace of points coming from Graham Riley, who dispossessed the ball from Conor McAtamney for his second. Mickey Newman then added to their lead with a long-range free, leaving Meath 4 points ahead with 7 minutes gone. After a heavy defeat to Dublin in the Leinster semi-final, the visitors commanded the opening quarter, and 16 minutes had passed before the home side's first score. The ball worked well by Owen Brown and finished by Mark Lynch. Meath continued to press, and Seamus Lavin's goal chance, which drifted just wide, came as a let-off for Derry, who kept within touching distance with 2 further points coming from Mark Lynch. Mick O'Dowd's men did eventually find the net after 26 minutes, with Donnacha Tobin's shot finished by Mickey Newman. The score at that stage 1-7 to 3 points. Another goal chance shortly followed, but Newman's shot was blocked down brilliantly by Gareth McKinless. And although the Oakleafers closed the gap once more before the break, James Keelt getting his first of the day, Meath had the final say of the half and led 1-8 to 4 points. Their 7-point lead was short-lived, however, as Derry came out of the blocks firing after the restart, Mark Lynch scoring after just 17 seconds. Christopher Bradley closed the gap a minute later, and Damien Barton's men struck with 4 more points in succession, a total of 6 points in the space of 8 minutes. Meath did pull away once more, restoring their 3-point lead with Mickey Burke slotting over for his first of the day, but Derry were resolute in their second half performance, and a 68-minute goal from substitute Niall Loughlin, who showed great composure, sent Derry into the lead and 2 points clear for the first time in the match. Meath had no answer after that, and their tally of 3 points in the second half wasn't enough to threaten the Oakleafers' resurgence. An energised performance with the wind at their backs ensured Derry's place in the last 16 of the All-Ireland race. As Meath manager Mick O'Dowd steps down, Damien Barton and his team will have a quarter-final spot in their sights. The final score in Owenbeg, Derry 114, Meath 111.
It was a novel pairing in the All-Ireland football qualifiers as Carlow travelled to take on Cavan at Kingspan Breffni Park. Bolstered by their win against Wicklow last time out, Carlow were without key man Brendan Murphy due to suspension. Cavan were looking to bounce back 6 days after losing their Ulster semi-final replay to Tyrone, and they got the dream start. Dara McVitie opened the scoring with a point, and with 2 minutes on the clock, Eugene Keating flicked the ball to the net after Cian Mackey's shot dropped short. The gap between league placings certainly wasn't evident in the opening half. This point from Owen Root left 2 points between the sides after 9 minutes. Playing into a strong breeze, the visitors looked like they had a goal after 14 minutes. Dara Foley got onto the end of a St Ledger free, but his effort was ruled out for a square ball. After 20 minutes, the gap was cut to a point, with frees from Dara Foley and Daniel St Ledger. Both sides were guilty of some wayward shooting, and Cavan had only scored once in 20 minutes before Cian Mackey restored a 2-point lead in the 23rd minute. Carlow managed one more free, but Cavan closed out the half well with 3 points. Gareth McKernan was on target before Killian Clark fired over for his first point. Just before the break, McKernan scored his 3rd point, which left the home side in front at half-time, 1-6 to 5 points. Cavan continued the second half as they finished the first, Eugene Keating adding to his first half goal. Shawnee Johnston added another free before Darragh O'Brien fired his only score to leave a 4-point gap after 53 minutes. The sides traded points from frees before the defining score of the game, Johnston and Brady setting up a move that was finished by Cian Mackey. A frantic few minutes followed. Mackey was shown a yellow card, Eugene Keating handed a black card, and Dara McVitie dismissed after being shown a second yellow. St Ledger cut the gap to 6 points, either side of a Johnston score, but Tom Hayes settled Cavan to keep 7 points between the sides. John Murphy got a point back for Carlow before 2 McKernan scores gave the home side an 8-point lead in stoppage time. Carlow never stopped, with Alan Kelly sneaking in for a late score, but Cavan had done enough. Full-time score, Cavan 2-13, Carlow 12 points.
Well, we're just delighted to get the win. I suppose that's what the back door is about, is getting on to the next round, and we've done that. Whereas we might have been a wee bit nervy in the beginning. Look, we finished it off quite well in the second half.
Well, ultimately, the goals were the difference. The goal in the very first minute was, it was a bad start to the game for us, but we recovered very well. Then the second goal came after we got a black card man off the pitch, and they were ultimately the difference between the two teams.
Clare went into this contest with just one win in their last 9 qualifier games, and they'd lost all 3 previous meetings with Laois in the backdoor system. Constant rain made conditions very difficult in Ennis, but Laois, managed by Clare native Mick Lillis, were hoping to build on their win over Armagh last weekend. And they got off to an encouraging start, with midfielder John O'Loughlin getting the first of his 3 points after just 30 seconds of the match. But Clare settled and Jamie Malone brought them level at 3 points each after 13 minutes with this score. Laois responded with 3 points in succession, but once again Clare hauled them back, and this point from Keelan Sexton, a Leaving Cert student last month, tied the match at 6 points each after 28 minutes. Then there was a big breakthrough for Laois, with impressive wing-back Stephen Atride finishing to the net after good work by Conor Meredith, Colin Begley and Donny Kingston to lead by 1-7 to 7 points at the interval. The rain got heavier in the third quarter and scores were hard to find for both sides in front of a crowd of 2,106, but David Turberdie pointed before making way for Podge Collins, who had starred in the hurling win over Limerick the previous night. This point from Donny Kingston put Laois 4 ahead after 51 minutes, but remarkably that was their final score of the contest. Clare reduced the gap, and this point from Shane Hickey left one between them 4 minutes from the end. A minute later the sides were level when substitute Sean Malone kept his composure to find the range. And as the game slipped into 5 minutes of stoppage time, it was another sub, Shane McGrath, who landed the winning point to complete a fantastic weekend for the Banner County. It finished Clare 14 points, Laois 110.
Didn't score for the final quarter, yeah, and that's a damning statistic, I suppose, in itself. It's very hard to win games if you don't come strong at the end. And obviously Clare came stronger. Now, we had opportunities. It wasn't as if we didn't have opportunities, but the wind was actually quite strong, and we missed 3 frees, I'd say, in the last 5-10 minutes. So if you miss those, it makes it very difficult for you.
It's a great weekend for Clare GA. We had a really good win last night in Thurles, and nice to follow up today with the win. And it's nice to be very interested in the draw on Monday morning.
I'd say they will. That draws on Morning Ireland. Tomás, Clare